Well, for the first time in more than 50 years, the state has reformed the law which allows police or family members to have someone hospitalized for 72 hours. The law is aimed at people thought to be having a mental health crisis or feared to be at risk of harming themselves or others.
The reforms to the law, known as the Baker Act, were signed into law on Friday by Governor Ron DeSantis.
And it was one of the needed reforms identified by CBS Miami in our ongoing coverage of mental health issues.
CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede spoke to the bill's sponsor and joins us now. So, Jim, explain the significance of this moment.
Look, very rarely does the legislature act on these sorts of issues dealing with mental health. They have a poor track record of wanting to deal with it because it doesn't have a great constituency. This bill, what the reforms actually do and accomplish is that so often what we saw with the Baker Act is you had people who were picked up and detained for 72 hours, treated in some sort of manner, stabilized, and then released back on the street with no follow-up care. This bill will help that, what they call a warm handoff, where services will now begin to be provided for those people who are in that crisis for 72 hours. It's a huge step. And when I spoke to the sponsor of the bill, State Representative Pat Maney, a Republican from the Panhandle, he was ecstatic. Let's listen to his sound.
I'm pumped. I think we made major progress. On the day this bill passed, I told the House that this was a start. It wasn't a perfect bill, but it was a very good bill, and there was more we needed to do. I think really it would be unreasonable to think any one bill would fix everything. We've got a lot to do, but this is a great start. And I don't think the legislature thinks that this is a final destination. I think everybody knows we have more to do in both the House and the Senate.
Well, Jim, certainly your coverage poked the bear here, I think, and as he pointed out, it's a great first step, but what more needs to be done?
So a number of things. So there's about $50 million that's part of this bill to sort of help with that ongoing effort so that the folks who come out of the Baker Act have services available to them. That's a drop in the bucket. That's probably going to have to be expanded dramatically. But it also goes to the idea of what is the criteria before someone can be Baker Acted, as the words we like to say. Should that be expanded to cover more people? Now that's where you get into an interesting discussion about individual civil liberties and whether or not the state goes too far. But the ultimate goal here is to avoid arresting people, putting them in jails. Yep. And that's the other part that still needs massive reform. What we showed in our documentary Warehouse was that too often people are just warehoused in jails. One of the things that needs to be done is increasing bed space at facilities that can treat people who need to be incarcerated, who may need to be in jail, but also have a mental illness and need to get treatment. That is still to be determined.
Yeah, hospitalizing people is one thing, incarcerating them an entirely different matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, the first step and hopefully many more to come. Thank you so much, Jim, for your reporting today.